you're new here, welcome to the road to 100k MMR, where I'm on a mission to prove that with just an idea and AI, you can build something amazing and hopefully profitable. Just you as a project manager and AI as a software engineer. Here are the rules again. We document everything, every win, every facepalm moment lined up in the open. Rule number 2, only use AI tools. This challenge is about pushing AI to its limits and mind frankly. Rule number 3, hit 100k or die trying. So here's the bigger picture. I want to show you that your first idea do not have to be a masterpiece. It can be simple. It's a way for you to start and then refine later. You can fail, but those failures are gold because each one of those teaches you something new about yourself, about technology, about AI, or about something you can turn into a 100k idea. This is what we have built so far. On day 1, I kicked off things by joining the AI Build Challenge. I'm thrilled to announce I'm joining the AI Build Challenge. Started by Pat at Starter Story. We proceeded to lay the groundwork by setting up Next.js, TypeScript, and Tailwind CSS. We then initialized our project and pushed it again, and then deployed the final version of itself. And today we are going to continue with our proof of concept of creating a content distribution app where creators can create once and distribute everywhere on social media platform. As a creator myself, I've lived this pain, so it's a problem I'm trying to solve for myself and hopefully for others. So what are we building? So imagine creating a piece of content, let's say a YouTube video or a blog post, and then with one click blast it to every social media platform, formatting and tailoring it to all of the different platform specific requirements, of course. Why are we doing this? Because time is precious, baby. Goal 100k or die try. In this episode, we're going to be tackling a big problem: authentication. Plot twist on this episode, we're also building a side tool called the Trackmaster, a convenient dashboard and CLI that helps you track your progress. And oh yeah, if you make it to the end, I'll tell you my verdict on which tool is better, Cursor or Windsurf, after 5,000 plus hours of grind time. No fanboy hype, just facts. Smash the subscribe button, drop a comment below with your wildest AI idea or your thoughts, and let's make this a movement together. So without further ado, let's get started. So in the previous episode, we completed this step, which is setting up the base project repository and a base structure. Okay, so we did set up everything within Next.js. In this episode, we are gonna set up our Superbase database. So it's gonna identify what tables we need within our database and set this up appropriately. And we are gonna be setting this up with Superbase. I believe Superbase is the easiest way to set up a database. So we are gonna be learning how to set up a database in Superbase today. I can mark this as done. Guys, I went ahead and forked Taskmaster and came out with my version called a Trackmaster. And what this allows us to do is to set up a convenient dashboard to track our progress. Alright, quick story time, because if you're wondering why I completely went off script whilst building this app, here's the deal. So I'm working on this project using the MCP Taskmaster. If you're familiar with Cursor, Windsurf, or MCP in general, you know what I'm talking about. It essentially helps you create tasks using your PRD. It's a solid tool, but as I was building, I kept feeling like something is missing. You ever have that feeling where everything feels good on the surface, but deep down you just know it's not built for the real world? If you ever worked in corporate America or just any half-functional team, you know exactly what I'm talking about. There's always a central place where everyone can track who is doing what. It's like an assembly line for accountability. In the agile world, they call it a Kanban board. And without it, things get messy quick. This is what Taskmaster was trying to solve, and it's great for solo work. But the moment you want to collaborate or show off your progress, it falls short. There's no central hub, there's no transparency. It's just you and your lonely ass checklist. So naturally, something in me just ticked. Build my own version, the same foundation, but evolving it into something that actually fits collaboration needs. I'm still mapping out the details here, and I'm still debating whether to release it for free or to charge a small fee just to have the convenience of having to set it up yourself. Long story short, this is how Trackmaster was born. So back to the video. You can still use the NPM package, but it's nothing without a dashboard. I'm going to be showcasing how we can integrate this into making our workflow powerful. Right now, I call it Vibe Collab, but I'm changing it to Trackmaster. So it's twofold. There's the dashboard version that you can essentially share with stakeholders. You can collab with other Vibe coders on the project, and it allows you to track your progress seamlessly. So if you're interested in this, comment your details, your social media or anything, and I'll contact you. Okay, so you can basically create tasks, Same details as Taskmaster. You can create projects, you can add team members to a project, you can have an epic view, which I'm going to be showing you in a second, and you can have also progress insight. For instance, if I go into content gen, which has a few items here, you can move items, but these are going to be moved automatically as you develop. So if I move a few items here and then I go to epic view, it shows me all of the epic view percentages. It breaks things down, categorizes them, and you're able to see your big picture in the overall view format. You can also go to progress and see what has been completed, what is still pending in the big picture. The great thing about this is you can also add team members, admin, or just a viewer that just read only. So this is something I'm building out. If you're interested in this, comment down below and I will send this over to you. But today I'm gonna show you how I'm using this. So I'm gonna content this is the project we are going to be working on. Okay, the way this works is by installing the npm package. It's an MCP server, so it uses everything as Taskmaster, so you still need to provide your Anthropic API key and Perplexity key to be able to use this. Similar setup. You can see all the instructions on how you can use this. And today we're using Windsurf instead of Cursor, and I'll tell you why in the end of this video. So over here, I'm just going to run this command npm install, and what you want to do is you want to install this globally. npm install trackmaster latest, and this has installed trackmaster. As you can see, guys, I have my PRD here, and once I have trackmaster installed, what I can do is to summon trackmaster or call trackmaster and log in. And this login information is what you're going to be able to do once you have access to the dashboard. So you can basically sign up and use that login. So that is the credentials we are using here. So it allows you to be able to communicate with the database. You also need to get your Superbase public and anon key, and you can easily get this by signing up for Superbase, and you should be able to have those keys available to you once you sign up and set up a database. So it saves your data, which everything is going to be in the readme file, and once you do have access, there's instructions to how to set all of this up, so you don't have to worry. So once that is set up, I select the correct project that I want to connect to. In this case, it's Content Dist, and what I'm going to do now is to init trackmaster. So this is just going to set up some base folders within our project, and you can see a nice readme file here, and if I scroll down a little bit, it shows me how to pass a PRD. So I'm just going to copy this, paste it here, and ours is prd.md, so make sure you get the name correctly. And so as you can see, guys, it's processing and creating all of the tasks, and it's just going to take a moment to process, but you're going to see the magic in doing it this way. And it has successfully generated 10 tasks. Now, if we go back to our dashboard, and I'm just going to refresh and then make sure I select the correct project. Remember, Content Dist. Now, look at that, guys. We now have our projects synced with our dashboard. And what is going to happen is, once you continue developing and completing tasks, it's going to automatically move these to in progress doing, and then move them to done once they are complete. I'm really proud of this, guys. So if you want to test this out, just leave a comment below and I will get in touch with you and let you check it out. It has analytics, it has progress insights, so you can basically share this with your team members so everybody knows exactly what is going on. So if you want to use this tool, comment down below. So I'm on Windsurf, I have my terminal open, and I'm just gonna clone from where we left off the last time into our local repository. And if we go to Vercel, you can see our app is running on a very generic address. So you can see this is our app and running. So content distribution platform. So local, I'm just gonna git clone our repository. And now that has been cloned, I can cd into it. And I'm just gonna open that up right here. If I expand on the task, the last time we finished up with task 1. Today we are going to continue with task 2, which is Superbase database setup and configuration. So essentially what it's going to do is to check the PRD and review what database tables we are going to need, map those out, and create them in Superbase. So that is what we are going to be learning today. The next step after cloning is to make sure our local repository is running. So I'm going to cd into the app directory by doing cd app and doing a yarn install, and this should install all of our dependencies, and then yarn dev to run a local development server. So we are now running on port 3001, and if I expand this, you can see that port 3001 is up and running. So I'm just asking Windsurf to go ahead and implement task 2 and then mark task 1 as done for now. So guys, they went ahead and created all of the schema or all of the table. So if we inspect the files that have changed here, it went ahead and installed Superbase and all of the Superbase helpers, and then it went ahead and set up tables for the Superbase. Now we are going to need to set up the Superbase URL and the Superbase anon key in order for this to work, but we'll come to this in a second. And over here, migrations, I created a migrations folder, and it basically breaks each table down and what needs to be in each table. So as you can see here, all of the tables and the schema have been defined here, very well detailed, everything that we need without us having to do it then. So this is looking good. Role levels as well. This is important for being able to perform CRUD operations on your database. So it went ahead and did provide a schema validations for users of what users can be able to do. So this looks good. And it created a Superbase utils, and these are just type definitions. So everything is looking good so far. The next thing it did was created a middleware, and you can see session validation, Superbase alt session, stuff like that. And then over here you can see the Superbase server, which basically creates the Superbase client, and then a little readme for Superbase. So this is everything it's been able to accomplish so far, but it looks like we are having a few errors, so I'm just gonna ask it to fix these. That wasn't installed, so it installed it, and we are getting a type error. So I'm gonna say we're just gonna ask Windsurf to fix these errors. So the next thing we're gonna do is to set up Superbase URL and Superbase anon key. So if we go into the README file, so first things we need to do is to go to Superbase. So I'm just gonna click on this URL, go to Superbase, make sure you sign in. I'm just gonna go to the dashboard and create a new project. I'm just gonna call this project Content Distributor. Create a project, and what this is gonna do is to provide you your database public URL and anon key. So if you click on connect right here at the top and then click on app frameworks, this is going to provide you with the keys that you need, and all you need to do is to copy it, go to your application, make sure you're in the app directory, and create a new file and name it .mv.local and paste those values here. So now the next step is to use the migration files to set up the Superbase schema. So I'm just going to copy this and come here and tell it Superbase project has been set. Now use the migration file and migration directory to set up Superbase schema. So it's giving us instructions on how to do it from the CLI. So this is going to log us in. Your Superbase account is being used in Superbase. Enter the verification code in the CLI to authorize. So we have that. Now we need to link our project. We need to make sure we get the correct project ID. Just gonna go back to Superbase, go to project settings, and you should be able to get access to your project ID right here. So I'm just gonna copy it, go back to Windsurf and paste it. And we need to run the last command, which is Superbase push. Actually guys, the best way to do this is to come over here to the migrations directory and click on the create base schema, copy everything from here back to Superbase and just paste that whole thing here and then run it. So it's gonna insert that, and the next thing we need is role level security. So we're just gonna copy this from the role level security SQL file, go back, make sure you delete everything that was here before and then paste this, okay, and run it, and everything is inserted successfully. So now if we go back to the database, you can see that the tables has been created with everything that we need, so we don't have to really do much. We have successfully set up database setup configuration. The next thing we are going to do is to move on to task 3, which is authentication implementation. Hopefully this will be a fast one, so I'm just going to ask Windsurf to move on to the next task. Alright, so it has successfully edited 11 files. Let's see what it changed. Okay, so change the title, that's good. Added a dashboard page, that's good. It added an off session to the middleware, which is really good, and projects, account sign up. Okay, this is looking really good. And these are just files we changed earlier, so I'm just gonna accept these, and we just need to go into the web and see what's going on. So it looks like we are having errors, so I'm just gonna copy this error. Let's see what does it say. You are importing a component that needs create content. This React hook works in client component. So instead of wasting compute and money fixing this, I tried to fix this ourselves. So it was inside of the lib. So this file right here on top, we're gonna put use client and patterns we do not need. That's it. Why is it still complaining? So it looks like everything looks good. Look at that. So now if we go to /login, let's see what happens. Or sign in. So it should be /sign in. It's nothing. Let's just restart our server and reload this page. Nothing. So I'm just gonna copy this and add it to chat. So that is what is happening. It's in the off/sign in. Let's see. I'm curious to see if it's gonna be able to fix this. So it's making the redirects too. So let's see what it did there. But that's not what we want. This isn't what we want. Look at that. So a simple sign-in page. But this isn't what we want. We don't want it to do this. So I'm just gonna reject. And what I'm gonna do is put this in brackets. And let's see if this works. So in Next.js, in the app directory, if you create a page, whatever you name the page, it goes by the folder. So it was expecting us to do off/sign in. But what we want to do is to put off and curly braces so that we don't have to put it off/sign in. We can just do /sign in. If I go here, see that off/sign in is already breaking. But if I do this, we now get the correct page. And this looks good. I'll create a new account, which isn't working as expected because it's redirecting to off/sign in. But we should remove the redirects. Okay. We should make sure we remove all the off paths. We do not need to do that. So gone over here on page. No, gone. Make sure you are saving everything. So if we go back, and we should be good. So create account, everything working. Expect sign in, forgot password, guys. Now if we try to sign in, invalid credential, but what we can do is to go and sign up. And the dark mode is completely messing everything up. We will fix this later. Create an account, and it goes into the verification. We need to fix this as well. And I think we should be good now. It just requires us to verify our email to sign in. So if you enter the correct email, great thing about Superbase is actually requires you to verify your email. So I'm just going into my email here to verify, and I think I am verified, and as you can see, we are signing in. It redirects to the dashboard, but there's nothing happening. But we have made significant progress here, guys. And we can sign into Google, but provider not enable. We can enable Google and Facebook later, but so far we are looking good. We have set up authentication successfully. We just need to redirect to dashboard, which is out of scope for this. So in the next episode, we are going to implement a dashboard for our application. So this looks so good so far, and we need to also fix the teaming. So right now, the teaming isn't working properly. I know AI finds it really difficult to fix this kind of stuff, so this is going to be tricky. I know I promised in the beginning of the video that if you stick around to this point, I'll reveal why I switched from Windsurf, from Cursor to Windsurf. So if we go to Windsurf.com, Windsurf is actually cheaper. It's just $15 a month. Cursor, on the other hand, it's $20 a month. But Cursor is so frustrating to use, not going to a simple task to execute, runs out of, it forgets things so quickly. Windsurf is better at remembering things. You ask it, okay? It's better at storing memory and your requirements into its memory bank and retrieves that, and it makes the development experience a lot better that way. With Cursor, what I realized was I got, especially when I was trying to implement a simple theming using Hero UI component library into my application, and I spun and was, even after providing it with all the context and documentation that it needed to perform what it needed to do, it still went around in circles. And the reason is Hero UI used to be called Next UI, and they recently changed to Hero UI. So because of that, Cursor is not able to make the connection that Hero UI is the appropriate installation setup to use. So it would revert back to using what it knows previously, which is Next UI. And in some cases, it would try to use both, and it just did not work. And I spun and wheels because it's a simple problem for it to be able to solve. Until I realized, what am I doing? Oh, I downloaded Windsurf. I just wanted to do something different in general. So I switched to Windsurf. And mind you, at this point, Cursor had spent so much. I was almost running out of my Pro. It gives you 500 fast premium requests. I was almost running out at this point. So I went over to Windsurf, and with just one prompt and linking the Hero UI documentation, it got it right away. That was the moment I realized there's differences here. I'm just not saying this to get you to go use Windsurf or anything. I'm just telling you my experience. I'm not sponsored or anything. And if you want the best out of these code editors, some are better than others, is what I'm trying to say. It's not perfect. Sometimes you do need to go in there and debug the issue yourself, because one thing about Windsurf as well is I was working on the track master code base, and I would get something working up to a point and it would create another error. So for instance, I got connecting super base inside of the track master code base was difficult to begin with, because CLI doesn't know how to maintain session. So we had to custom do it. And after doing that and got it working and everything was working, it was now time to publish to NPM. So if you go into my NPM, there's so much version publication, and it wasn't that there was anything. It just introduced a bug in there that just kept it in a loop. So it would increase the version and then republish, and then it just went on a loop and a loop, and I couldn't understand what was going on until I figured out, oh, it's on a loop. And I fixed it. Once I tried to fix it using Windsurf, it reverted all the changes that were working previously, so I had to start all over again. So these are the frustrations you have to go with. So I have learned that once you get to a certain point where you are stuck in a loop with these code editors, you need to dig in yourself, or else you are not going to fix it. It's just going to exacerbate the issue. So you need to dig in yourself, figure out what the issue is, and once you understand what is going on, you're on a better path to fixing the problem than relying on Windsurf or Cursor to fix it. So if you enjoyed this episode, please hit the subscribe button. Till the next one, peace.